Okay, this time it's working. We got the audio going. Turns out in my camera, there was a setting where you had to go into movie settings, which is video recording, and there is a little button, a little function called record audio, on or off. And it was off. I don't know why, but here you go, another little thingy. We worked out, so now it should be fine. I think it's working now. Yeah, so what I wanted to talk about is I wanted to test out my camera. So this time we're filming with the camera, Sony 6400, with the Tamron lens, and we are going to see if the footage is better or worse than the phone footage. Now, obviously, it is better. It's crispier. I can do something like this, where it looks a lot more professional. You can see like the background gets all blurry because there's some distance between me and the bookcase. And if I go here, then that blurriness should disappear, but the focus should remain on me, I think, I hope. We'll also test that. I'm not sure how fast this Tamron is at autofocusing. You know, I've done this before where it's like arm up, arm down, arm up, arm down. And see, it takes a second, right? It's not like immediate. I thought it would be a lot faster, but I guess that's cool. I do kind of move around a lot in my videos. I say that as if I have made many videos. I have not, but I am noticing that I'm moving a lot. And I think if I move too much with the camera, then I will be blurry in half the shots. Whereas the phone does not seem to have that issue. It's kind of just like always in focus. Very strange. I can also see myself in the little viewfinder, which is a blessing and a curse, because for one thing, I can know that I am, for instance, out of frame. I can tell when I am too far away, which is great. I can go here and I can see that I'm still in the shot, which is awesome. I love that. That is a cool thing. However, there is the issue of the being too much quality. I'm just talking. I'm not doing anything crazy right now. We're not moving around. We're not doing any crazy like edits with like super high quality, like blah, in your face or whatever. So I don't really know if we need that quality. Everything looks kind of crisp, which, I mean, I guess it's cool if that's where you're going for, but we're kind of trying to keep it simple here. So I don't really think we need that. A lot of YouTubers say that, and video filmmakers or whatever, that, you need some kind of decent camera for editing and color grading and whatnot. And you should film in log, whatever the hell that means. And, but yeah, I don't know. If you're just talking, showing stuff, maybe it's not that necessary. The whole idea for this like series is to show, what it's like to start out making videos about your art, basically, something like that. And I would also like to talk, which something that I'm doing right now. So we're going to try and figure out things as we go along, like this whole mic setup thing and the stuff and the stands and whatever. That took a minute to figure out. I did not think that it would... Jesus, sorry. I did not think it would be as difficult as it was, but here we go. Looks like we got the thing set up. I will also review the phone footage later on the computer, on the bigger screen, to kind of see if it's as good as I think it is. But most people watch the stuff on their phones anyway, right? So yeah, basically, before I was filming, I had my phone set up on a little thingy. And this is that thing. This is a little janky little plasticky thing, which is out of focus. And holy, look at this autofocus, man. See what I'm talking about? Like, it's all trouble with these cameras. Anyway, okay. So I have this little thing. And the cool thing is that you can extend this thing out. These guys go out. There you go. And you can put your phone in there, in between the little claw, right? And you can use it as a little selfie stick or whatever, right? Move it around. It's got a little remote, which is kind of crazy for the price that I paid for it, which is like 13 euros. So for stopping and starting recording, I don't really know why it's that important, because you can just press a button on your camera or on your phone. But I can see how that could be useful if you're filming outside. Maybe there's like a big, truck going by, or somebody started mowing the lawn. You could just, click and pause the video and start it up again later. Anyway, the cool thing is it has this. I don't really ever know how to do this, but I'm sure there's a nicer way of doing it. But it's got this. Look at that. See, it's like a little stand. And you're thinking, oh, but it's so short. How are you going to use that? Well, check this out. Bam. Look at that. And now, right, you can just place it wherever you want. Put your camera in there. This thing rotates, by the way, if you want landscape footage or vertical. There's some video talk for you. And yeah, what a fantastic little thing. So you can basically just, throw this little guy in your backpack. And God, that is loud. You throw this guy. There you go. Look at, and it's so light because it's cheap, but it's so light. I love it. So you can just throw that in your bag, throw in these little guys, my keys, and just, here you go, set it up somewhere, go film. Because with this guy, the thing that I'm filming on now, it's a giant thing. It's a huge tripod with a heavy camera on top. I feel like I'm recording actual, like a report, reportages, a news report or something. Like I'm actually super serious about this. That's what it makes me feel like, which I don't know if it's a good thing. I mean, I guess if you're alone in your home or you want to create some cool shots, right? Because this guy's got like zooms and whatever, and you can separate the background and, then of course. But if you're just like me, you're just messing around, trying to figure stuff out, I think the phone is enough. But we'll see. I don't know. I guess we'll film some with the camera, some with the phone, and we'll sort of figure things out as we go along. And you see, what I can do with the lens is I can zoom out to 70 millimeters and stand like this. Look at that. Now that is professional looking footage, besides the lights. We're not talking about lights yet, just about the cameras. And this is just straight out of the camera, where you get this nice little blurry, bookshelf in the background. You could put up a light there or something, and put up a light in front of you, and create some pretty nice stuff. Or you can go, bam, 17 millimeters. Look at that. Super wide. You can see the whole room, my whole mess. I don't know if that's a good thing though. Okay, so yeah, it's got versatility. Obviously, it's a lot more than just pressing ×1 or ×2 on the Samsung. It also has ×10, which I find to be absolutely useless, but it's still a fun little feature. And yeah, so I don't know. I mean, these days, phones, cameras, we kind of made it. I think. Like, I guess if you want to film, like a movie, like an actual short movie or something, then of course you want better gear. You want gear that films in low light. You want gear that's like fast, expensive, whatever. But if you're just messing around on YouTube and TikTok, dude, like you got your phone. All you need is mic, because phone mics suck even on good phones. So, this thing's $50. Come on, put it on a spoon. You good to go. So what are we going to do on this channel, on this series, whatever, is I kind of want to combine Photoshop, which is what I do. I do like photo manipulations, posters, stuff like that. I do a little bit of photography. I've tried some self-portraits in the past, which was kind of fun. So I'd like to implement that. So we'll have creative photo manipulated self-portraits. That doesn't mean it's just going to be my face. More like I'm just going to be in the shot as the thing that's doing the thing. And we will try to film the process and maybe learn something along the way. Because I've never done video before. So I think it would be cool to kind of take a deep dive into that sort of concept and attach video on it. because I've always wanted to try video, but I was always too scared, especially as far as English goes. It's not my first language, so I'm terrified. I don't know if I sound good or if it's total cringe, but we'll mess around and explore. Top of all of that, I really want to see what can we do with the humble beginnings, if you were, the concept of just starting out, because we don't really see that anymore. We got like no budget, except the only thing I have is this camera, which is the more expensive thing. Everything else is ultra low budget. And if you don't have a big camera like this, I honestly can tell you, you do not need one. But that's kind of like saying, that's like what everybody says on those like, photography channels and stuff, where they go like, you don't need a full frame camera, which is like a way more expensive type of camera. You can take great shots with any kind of camera. And then for some reason, they all have the really expensive cameras, right? So it's kind of similar, So whenever they say that, I'm kind of like, okay, well, then if you don't need it, then that means we can kind of do it without, right? I'm so sick of everything being beginner, right? Like you buy this camera, which is not a cheap camera. It's like $1,000, right? When it came out. And the lens is like half that. And it took me like years to get this stuff. Literally years. I was saving up and paying it out and blah, blah, blah. And you go on somewhere and everybody's like, oh, the A6400 and the Tamron 70 millimeter are great beginner friendly, gear. It's great gear for beginners and amateurs. It's like, Jesus Christ, man. I mean, this is like high quality stuff. I mean, I know it's not it's not $10,000, but Jesus Christ, is it really that beginner? That's the question that I raise. Is it really that beginner? We're going to try and make some pretty cool stuff with it, with this beginner gear. And so I'm taking you along for the ride to show you that it is not as difficult or as scary as you might think. Maybe I'll inspire you to try the same, because in Lithuania, there are not a lot of people who actually do this kind of stuff, especially when it comes to art. There's a lot of jokey, stand-up-y kind of things. There's a lot of like, professionals, but just regular people teaching and showing regular things, it's not a big thing. So we're going to try that. The reason this video is in English is just in case nobody in Lithuania watches it. So, I think most people speak English in Lithuania, especially the younger generation. So I think you'll be fine, right? You can understand me just fine. So I don't know. Yeah, that's it. I'm basically just trying to get used to the camera, trying to get used to talking to you guys, and So what I want to try and do is I want to set up some lights. I don't actually have any of those big like soft boxes or whatever, because they're expensive and they take up a lot of space. I just got some really janky like LEDs and ring lights, which are pretty cheap. You can get them for like, I don't know, like 50 euros as well. I mean, it's like, oh, that's not cheap. Yeah, it is cheap. It actually is cheap. People say that like, you can get this like soft box for like $350, which is a steal. And like, bruh, like 350 euros is not cheap. Like, I mean, I guess if you have money, it's cheap, but I guess everything is cheap if you have money. So anyway, so I'm going to show you budget stuff. Budget. Really cheapy stuff. And we're going to try and make some cool stuff with it. So this was a test of the camera filming. Before, it was the camera of the phone filming. We've also hooked up the mic, tested it out on both the camera and the phone. And I'm going to review the footage now. And we're going to meet up in the evening where we will try and do some light stuff, which is, I guess, where it gets interesting, right? Okay, yeah,